Alaikum grade 6. Welcome my dear students. Yalla, let's start chapter 2. Bismillah. The four children, remember? John, Roger, Kitty, and Susan. The children carried their supplies to shore. للشاطئ, to shore, شاطئ, and then began the search for a suitable campsite. Began is the past of begin. Remember? Begin يبدأ, began الpast بدأ خلاص, begun. This is the past participle. Begin, began, begun. المهم, they began the search البحث for a suitable campsite, المكان التخييم المناسب, the suitable one. A short walk brought them to a clearing which was surrounded by thick green pine trees. يعني after a short walk, بعد ما مشوا الوقت قصير خالص, راحوا لفين؟ لقوا ايه؟ clearing. A clearing is a piece of land, قطعة أرض بس مقطوع منها الشجر, with no trees, okay? Which was surrounded, كانت محاطة by thick green pine trees. Pine trees like الشجر اللي هو اللي على علم لبنان, دي هي الباين trees. triangular كده شوية, شبه المثلث. اوكي, المهم فكانت طبعا a perfect place to camp. Okay, this is the perfect place to set up our camp, said Susan as she glanced around, وهي قاعدة ايه تبص كده من حواليهم. And it's close to the harbor, وقريبة كمان من الهاربر, من المينا. المهم فكيتي قالت ايه؟ Someone's been here before. ده كان في حد هنا من قبل. Someone's been here before. الapostrophe s بتاعت someone's is has. يعني someone has been here before. طبعا ده present perfect, has or have plus the verb in the past participle. Okay. Said Kitty, pointing to a ring. حلقة, a ring, حلقة of stones. When we set a fire, what do? We make a ring of stones, okay? And in the middle, we light our fire, right? So, she find a ring, حلقة of stones, من الزلط, of stones, من اللي هو الزلط يعني. In the middle of the clearing, في نص clearing ده, piece of land الفاضية دي, which was filled with ash. الرينج دي كانت مليانة ash, رماد, as if there was a fire here, okay? As if there was a fire here before, وكأن كان في نار هنا من قبل. المهم, John frowned. It seems بقى ان هو ايه, he was a little bit angry, okay? وقال ايه? Well, I'm quite sure we're alone now. طبعا he doesn't want anyone with them, okay, on the island. He doesn't want anyone else with them on the island. So John frowned when he saw this ring. But he said, well, I'm quite sure we're alone now. أنا متأكد جدا إن إحنا دلوقتي لوحدنا. I didn't see any other boats. أنا ما شوفتش any other boats when we arrived, لما وصلنا. المهم, the children put up the tents. حطوا الخيم بتاعتهم. One for John and Roger, the boys, and one for Susan and Kitty, the girls. Then they gathered some firewood, جمعوا حبة حطب, and lit a fire, وولعوا نار. طب ايه lit ده؟ L-I-T دي. Lit is the past of light. Light, lit. Verb to light يعني يولع. الpast بتاعه lit. lit a fire in the ring of stones. في نفس الرينج in the same ring of stones. في نفس الحلقة اللي من الزلط. Susan quickly started to work. على طول بدأت الشغل. Making tea and scrambled eggs for the hungry crew. حضرت some tea شوية شاي and scrambled eggs وضربت البيض for the hungry crew للطاقم الجوعان. Once all the plates had been washed والبليتس كلها اتنضفت. The children carried their telescope شالوا التلسكوب بتاعهم أول ما خلصوا. Once they finished والplates were washed they carried their telescope شالوا التلسكوب بتاعهم to the top of a steep hill. Steep means منحدر قوي مش زي الزحليقة. No, it's like 90 degrees. Okay, ف steep. Okay, مش like a slide مش زي زحليقة. لا هو داخل جوه خالص as if it's 90 degrees. المهم they carried their telescope to the top of a steep hill. hill هضبة steep قوي منحدرة قوي at the northern end of the island في النهاية الشمالية من الجزيرة. اوكي فجون قال ايه this will make a fine lookout. كده بقى البليس من البليس ده احنا نعرف نشوف كل حاجة. We'll be able to see any boat that comes near our island. Any boat will come near our island. Any boat هتيجي قريب من الآيلاند بتاعتنا we will be able to see it. هنتمكن ان احنا نشوفها by our ايه telescope. المهم فكيتي قالت ايه there's one now. ايه ده في بوت هناك اهي. there's one now. Kitty said these words. Roger looked through the telescope. بص كده خلال التلسكوب through the telescope and saw Mr. Jackson. He saw whom? He saw Mr. Jackson. And saw is the past of verb to see. Verb to see الpast بتاعه saw and the past participle is seen. Has seen, have seen, had seen. مين Mr. Jackson ده؟ Who is Mr. Jackson? The farmer المزارع at Holy How. The farm. Remember the farm? Rowing towards the island. Rowing قاعد يقدف towards the island. It's Mr. Jackson. He cried. Roger طبعا was excited وقال لهم it's Mr. Jackson. Hey. Children took turns at the telescope. كل واحد يبص شوية. Took turns. They took turns. Took is the past of take. Take, took, taken. المهم. Then when the boat reached the harbor. When the boat لما البوت وصلت للمينا the harbor they ran down to welcome their visitor. جريوا على تحت to welcome their visitor الزائر بتاعهم. Hello children, said Mr. Jackson as he pulled his boat ashore. كان بيسحب البوت بتاعته ashore على الشط. فالchildren قالوا له hello. فMr. Jackson told them your mother told me to bring you some bags of hay to sleep on. أمكم وصتني to bring you إن أنا أجيب لكم some bags of hay حبة أكياس كده من القش to sleep on عشان تسليبوا عليها. فقالوا له فسوزان told him thank you. The children helped Mr. Jackson carry the bags of hay to the camp. طبعا children كانوا مؤدبين جدا. They were very polite. They helped Mr. Jackson. طبعا they are very helpful by the way. They helped Mr. Jackson carry يشيل the bags of hay الشنط اللي جواها القش اللي هي زي شكاير يعني جواها الهي القش to the camp للمخيم. Then they offered him a cup of tea. Would you like some tea, Mr. Jackson? Would you like some tea? and they offered him too a plate of ginger biscuits. بسكوت الزنجبيل. Yummy yummy. Your mother told me to tell you that she's arranged for you to collect milk from Dixon's farm on the mainland every morning. مامتكو, your mother told me, قالت لي to tell you, أقول لكم, that she's arranged for you, رتبت لكم, to collect milk, إن انتوا اللي تجمعوا الملك from Dixon's farm, من مزرعة ديكسون on the mainland every morning, من على الأرض اللي هم كانوا فيها. mainland الأرض الرئيسية, not an island. on the mainland every morning, كل صباح, said Mr. Jackson as he chewed on a biscuit. And you can only stay here until Sunday. You're going back home on Monday. The children nodded. يعني their heads moved up and down, saying yes. They nodded. فوق وتحت, up and down, saying yes. فكيتي سألته. She asked him, Did you see the pirate? انت شفت البايرت يا عمو جاكسون؟ فهي told her, What pirate? فكيتي واضح جدا ان she's a very curious girl, بنت فضولية جدا. So she told him, the one on the houseboat, اللي كان على houseboat. Mr. Jackson laughed. Ho, 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 ho. That's Mr. Turner. And you're right. He probably is a pirate. Ho, 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 ho. فكيتي طبعا really بجد. فقال what did he tell her? Mr. Turner is an adventurer, مغامر. He's traveled the world, ده سلف في العالم, and his boat is full of souvenirs from different countries. مليان souvenirs, مليان تذكارات. البوت بتاعه, الهاوس بوت ده, مليان تذكارات from different countries, من بلاد مختلفة. I've heard some people, أنا سمعت شوية ناس, say that there's treasure on his boat. إن في treasure, كنز, on Mr. Turner's boat. طبعا كيتي, treasure, كنز, her blue eyes sparkling, بتلمع. Mr. Jackson nodded, moved his head up and down, saying yes. Mr. Turner lives on the houseboat during the summer, أثناء الصيف. Last year, he spent all his time with his nieces, مع ولاد أخوه وولاد أخته, with his nieces, the Blackett girls. اسم عيلتهم كده, Blackett. The Blackett, زي ما دول Walker, دول Blackett. The Blackett girls who live on the other side of the lake. عايشين on the other side of the lake. This year he's decided, يعني he's decided, قرر to keep to himself. مش هيكلم حد. خلي شؤونه لنفسه. He decided to keep to himself. He won't let anyone near his boat. مش هيخلي أي حد near his boat, يقرب من البوت بتاعه. No one has any idea what he does there all day. No one has any idea. محدش عارف بيعمل ايه طول النهار في المركب, ومش عايز حد يقرب من البوت بتاعه. He doesn't want anyone to get near to him, to get near to his boat. He is kept to himself now. هو دلوقتي مكلمش حد, ولا عايز حد يكلمه, ولا عايز يكلم حد خالص. فكيتي قالت ايه بقى, what was on Kitty's mind? He's probably guarding his treasure. غالبا He's guarding his treasure. بيحرس الكنز بتاعه. His treasure. فمستر جاكسون said probably. Mr. Jackson finished his tea and the children walked him back to the harbor. Mr. Jackson خلص التي بتاعه and the children walked him back. They walked with him back to the harbor, المينا. Then they returned to the camp. They returned to the camp and went to sleep underneath a starry sky and a silvery half moon. They went to sleep. راحوا بقى يناموا underneath تحت a starry sky. سما مليانة نجوم. And a silvery half moon. والهاف مون الفضي الجميل. الله. A very nice يعني مش هقول ايه painting لوحة فنية. A starry sky مليانة stars, full of stars. A starry sky is a sky سما which is full of stars and a silvery half moon نص القمر كده وهو silver فضي. Okay, my dear students, by this we have finished, okay, chapter 2. See you inshallah in chapter 3. السلام عليكم حبايبي، مع السلامة.